We finally have concrete information about the reset in Arc Raiders, meaning the end of the current expedition. And that's exactly what we're going to talk about. We'll take a detailed look at how the reset works, what rewards you get, and most importantly, whether it's actually worth doing and who this reset is really intended for. Now let's get into the expedition project itself. For anyone who might not be fully up to speed, especially if you joined the game recently, the expedition project is Embark's version of server wipes. In many extraction shooters, regular wipes are completely normal. All inventories, money, items, and character progression get deleted to keep the economy balanced, and to ensure that, at least for a short time, everyone is roughly on the same level regardless of how much they've played. The problem with that system is obvious. Not everyone can or wants to invest a huge amount of time into a game. Some players haven't reached all their goals yet but still get wiped and forced to start over. That feels bad, and it's one of the main reasons why many players avoid extraction shooters altogether. Embark Studios is trying to solve exactly that issue with the Expedition project, because participation is completely optional. You can take part if you want to, but you don't have to. If you choose not to reset your raider during this expedition window, you lose nothing. Your progress stays exactly as it is, and you can continue playing normally. You can always decide to reset during a future expedition instead. With that clarification out of the way, we're all on the same page. So let's talk about why this reset might be interesting, or why it might not be. Embark Studios recently published a new blog post explaining the details. According to that post, the expedition window has shifted slightly. The expedition still ends on December 21st or 22nd, but it now starts on December 17th, which is a little later than originally planned. In practice, this barely affects players at all. From December 17th until December 21st, you have the opportunity to complete your expedition. During this period, you simply need to decide whether you want to reset your account. That decision is made in-game by sending your raider off into the tunnels of Speranza. To even be able to make that choice, your capsule has to be fully built, which means you need to have completed at least the first 5 steps of the expedition. The 6th step focuses on accumulating as much wealth as possible and filling your stash with valuable items, because the richer you are at the end of the expedition, the more bonuses you'll receive afterward. This is where the incentives for resetting come in. Embark is clearly hoping that players will participate, and they're offering several rewards to make it appealing. Resetting your raider grants permanent cosmetic unlocks, including the patchwork raider outfit and the janitor hat for Scrappy. Your account will also permanently display that you've already reset by showing an icon or counter indicating how many times you've prestiged. On top of that, you gain 12 additional stash slots that carry over into the next expedition and beyond. When you start fresh after the reset, the most impactful reward is probably the additional skill points you can earn. How many you get depends entirely on the total value of your stash at the end of the expedition. The more valuable your items and accumulated coins are, the more skill points your next raider begins with, up to a maximum of 5. Embark Studios finally clarified the exact numbers. Both your stored items and your money are added together for the total value. For every 1 million coins worth of value, your new raider receives 1 additional skill point. That means reaching a total value of 5 million grants, the full 5 extra skill points. Once earned, these rewards, including cosmetic unlocks, the prestige indicator, additional stash space, and skill points, are permanent and persist across future expeditions. In addition to those permanent rewards, there are also temporary buffs for players who reset. During the next expedition, you receive a 10% repair bonus, a 5% experience boost, and 6% more materials from Scrappy. These buffs can stack up to 3 times across the next 3 expeditions. After that, it's very likely that Embark will introduce a different format for voluntary resets with new mechanics and rewards. That brings us to the big question. Is it worth it at all, and if so, for whom? I know plenty of players who didn't have as much time or who started later, and simply aren't there yet. For them, resetting might not feel appealing at all, and that's completely fine. They can continue playing with their current progress, lose nothing, and decide during a future expedition window whether they want to reset then or not. Everyone has to make that choice for themselves. I personally think the rewards are absolutely worth it. Even though 5 skill points might not sound like much at first, they add up over multiple seasons. Across 3 additional expeditions, you're looking at a total of 20 extra skill points, which is a significant advantage. The only thing I would have liked to see handled differently is the stash expansion. I would have preferred 20 additional slots per reset instead of 12. I hope this breakdown helped bring you up to date and made things clearer. Let me know in the comments what you think and whether you plan on resetting or not. I'm really curious to see how opinions differ and whether Embark's idea of voluntary resets works out in the long run. Thanks for watching, have a great day, and I'll see you in the next video.